Hey, welcome back you guys. So in today's video, I'm going to show you how to patch into like a heavy hand applied texture and also how to actually do the heavy hand applied texture. We don't have this up in Canada very often. I think this is actually kind of a really interesting one. After doing flat walls for 15 years, I can actually appreciate texture these days. So that's what it takes. You just have to stare at flat walls for your entire career. Eventually, you'll get a taste for something different. Okay, first thing we need to do is pre-fill it. So that little slap kind of helps me not get it on my head when I first put the mud on the ceiling. That little slap, what it does is it stops the mud from spreading out on either side of the knife. So what we're doing here is just making it flat so that when it dries we can tape it. And we're leaving it as flat as possible on this heavy texture. It's actually not super heavy, but it's pretty heavy. So one of the main things that I'm always trying to get people to understand is that when you are pre-filling, the goal at this point is not to be like rushing through the job trying to get tons of linear feet done. The goal at this stage is to make sure that you're gluing the sheets together. I don't think most people realize that that's actually the point of the pre-fill stage, is like trying to get mud in between the sheets so that you create a really strong joint. So now that's starting to get a lot flatter. I mean, feathering those edges is not even worth it. It's not possible. But, you know, feather where you can. I just bought this sheetrock knife. Feels pretty nice actually. So wiping against the joint forces the mud into the joint, which will, like I said, create that nice strong joint. I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm also using my old camera because it has a better lens for working in small spaces. I always struggle when I'm working in bathrooms. Let me know if you like this camera compared to the one that I've been using for the last couple of years. I kind of like this one. Let's not leave this crevice. That definitely needs something. Okay, so there they are. Right? It's not perfect at this point. It can't be, but it's full. Same with this one. Right? Don't worry about the bits of waviness. You can't help but get that because you're not running your knife along a smooth surface. So unfortunately, this next clip is out of focus for the entire thing, which is exactly why I ended up getting a new camera. But anyways, what I did here was I decided to tape it with the 6-inch wide rolls of mesh tape because it's more than adequate for this ceiling. So I apply the mud to get it to stick, and then I roll out the 6-inch mesh tape and bed it in and then throw a coat over top of it. But unfortunately, we can't really see that very nicely because of the camera. Okay guys, I just finished. I'm tired, but let's get a look at this ceiling. So yeah, I mean, I said ceiling, but let's look at all of it. There's the ceiling patch that you guys watched me do. It's not perfect, right? We got some lines, some ripples. Really, none of this matters at this point. But this is all I'm gonna do for tonight because it's like 9:30 p.m. I'm definitely tired. There's the corner bead from the other video. Yeah, not too bad. All right, so this is nice and dry. We got a few little high spots, but it barely even matters at this point. We just got to get some mud on this thing. And it also doesn't have to be very perfect. Texture is very forgiving. So what I don't want is a whole bunch of bubbles. That's what I don't want. So I'm actually mostly just going to give it a fairly tight skim to get rid of the bubbles and just spread it out a little wider so that it doesn't look like a big bubbly hump on the ceiling with texture on it. Yeah, filming in this room has been a bit of a challenge. Pan and knife guy, huh? You gotta do what you gotta do when you don't have the tools you're used to around. Good catch. It's a nice, easy little knife to use. Seems like it would break easily, like not be very durable, but it's really easy to work with. Feathering as best we can. It's not super possible, so we just do the best we can. Okay, so there it is, right? Coated up. It's not perfect. The only thing I don't like right now is some of this mesh tape kind of showing through. So once it dries out the tiniest bit, I'll probably coat that a little bit more. We got the other one there too. Nothing much to show there. I mean, because of how thick this texture is, I could almost get away without even doing another coat, although I probably will. I've almost forgot to film anything in the corners for you guys. The corners are pretty straightforward. Just go a little wider than what you did before. You can do that if you have to. And the main thing is do your feather first, because the feather is going to leave a whole bunch of lines all of a sudden. So once you've done that, then you can smooth it out. And you really don't need to worry too much about anything here. We got a way to solve that we'll do when it's dry. Even a line right all the way down is not actually the end of the world, but if you think you got the touch, you can flatten it out. Okay, so I did do a second coat of all-purpose light off camera, so it's just a little bit flatter. The tape's a little more well hidden, but it otherwise looks the same as it did before. And what I need to do right now is I need to go around the corners real quick just to get any crusties out. And I also need to look for any obvious lines and kind of knock them down. Although, honestly, I could probably get away without even doing that because this texture is so heavy that it'll hide almost anything. You might also notice that I have blue tape around here. So these walls are not sanded yet. You can tape onto unsanded drywall mud. It'll stick, but as soon as you sand it, it won't stick. So I've done this to protect the walls from the texture because I'm not priming before texture. I want to just get the job done. I know a lot of people say you got to prime before texture, but in a lot of cases, it's actually just not done. For the most part, the drywall guys need to get the job done and move on to the next place. So yeah, typically you won't actually find anyone priming before texture. It's sort of one of those best practice myths that isn't actually done in the real world very often. So I'm really quickly learning here that I actually need to cover the entire surface, and I didn't mix enough, so I better run out and mix some more. You guys, I'm sorry I didn't film it all. It kind of turned into like a small nightmare, and I just had to get the job done and not worry about the video. Yeah, but yeah, didn't expect I was gonna have to coat the whole ceiling, but that's because of the size of the aggregate. Maybe when I get home, we'll get some concrete fill, and I can show you guys how this texture is created. That's just about it. It's kind of a cool one. Oh, I wrecked it. That's good enough. Don't touch it again. Yeah, it's interesting for sure. Okay, I'll show you guys what it looks like at least. It's kind of crazy. Okay, so you can see it's got those swirls and kind of looks like fire in some spots. Bit of a wild texture. The aggregate in that material I used was slightly thicker than what the original texture was. But all things considered, it's a pretty close match. Without having the exact same material and the exact same body mechanics and experience as the original person, it's very hard to get it perfect. But I'm pretty happy with it. Once it's painted, it'll look really close to the original one. But I didn't expect to have to do the whole ceiling. So here's the original one. You can see all those swirlies I was trying to go for. So it's not too far off. But again, without the same materials and same body mechanics, it's pretty hard to do the exact same texture. But I'm a mess, and this place is a mess, and I want to get it cleaned up. So, and I also still have to sand the rest of the bathroom. So yeah, my work's not done. Okay guys, as promised, I'm going to show you how to do this texture on this wall right here. This is concrete fill. It has perlite in it. That's what the aggregate's gonna be. So for the ceiling, I don't know if I even mentioned, but what I used was just regular all-purpose light mud, so joint compound, mixed with mortar. And unfortunately, the grit wasn't quite thin enough for me. But the homeowner was happy with the job, so that's the important part. But had I had a bag of this stuff, I think I could have gotten much closer to perfect. Okay, we got the big pool trowel this time. So we're just gonna put some of this on the wall. I mixed it by hand, so there's still some dry clumps. I think once I get about a 4x4 space, should be good. And I probably don't need to be, okay, so I'm doing it. Yeah, this would have been the perfect material. Okay, so let me just, all right, the trick to the swirl texture, you see how it looks right there, right? We're getting liftoffs here because I'm tilting the trowel, right? Very slightly, but it's tilted. And in order to get the suction, these drag marks, you actually need it stuck to the wall. And so that's what does it, right?
Looks like a dragon.
It kind of does, yeah. So it can look like a variety of things, right? But the idea is that people do sort of like a figure 8 motion. That's it. That's the swirl texture right there. So instead of having it on an angle like we usually do to smooth it, that's satisfying too. It's just and so just trying to figure out what is for you some sort of pleasing texture. But that's the general idea, as you can see. And to be totally honest, I would almost rather have that on our ceiling than just the typical splatter texture.
Me too.
Geez, you can't move the camera that fast.
Yeah, I can.
No, you can't. You're gonna make the audience puke. Okay, so yeah, what do you like this better than that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like at least it's got some sort of life to it, some sort of like it was applied by not just a machine, you know? That's like a bit heavy and exaggerated for me, but it's still kind of cool. And you could just, I think over time you'd start to figure out how to make it look like something unique. That's getting better. I think the main problem is I keep doing these figure eights, and so it looks like eights next to each other. But yeah, neat. That's the swirl texture. The video's over now, if you guys can't tell. I'm just messing around. Now I gotta take this off the wall, throw all this stuff out, and clean up.
Or you could let me like play with them a little bit.
Yeah, you can play with the mud a bit. Okay.
Yay.
See you guys. Have a good one. Thanks for watching.